Welcome back to the Not Now Show, episode 11, and what a year 2020 has been. Not just out there, but also in here. It must be like one of the most eventful years that's like ever happened in my life. It's just everything's just gone to shit. But it's also been very interesting, and of course, you had 24 episodes produced by yours truly, 13 episodes of the No Show, 10 episodes of the Not No Show, and one episode of the Controversiality stream. I don't know if that's ever coming back, but it was interesting to have fun with that. And of course, the best thing that happened this year is that I started to do content. And I've really tried to make consistency and discipline my number one priority, and it's worked. I'm starting to really enjoy making these episodes, and I want to actually do more. I've actually been throttling back my effort, but you're gonna get it, you're gonna get more. So, this is actually gonna be the 25th episode, and that is one episode a week without missing a single week. Well, I was late once by a day. I already recorded the video, but I just forgot to upload it. So I'll let myself off. Yeah, that should be fine. No one's perfect. But this is actually going to be the penultimate episode of the Not No Show, and we are going to be upgrading to a slightly better format. This is actually coming because work is really starting to take a nosedive. So there's really pressure on me to find alternate revenue streams. As any good businessman will tell you, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That being the case, I want to accelerate my efforts in making content that will actually be watchable, so I can nail the formula down faster, because there's pretty much been zero change in how I make these episodes since the very beginning. In fact, like, the No Show was slightly better than the Not No Show, so things might look like they've taken a nosedive, but that's all changing because I actually want to improve how I do things and actually start to work on my formula a bit so I can get closer to the end goal, the No Show season 2 rather. And really, so then if I can make something that I think is good enough, I can then set up my Patreons and just really start making this a real business. And yeah, like, as I said, I'm really enjoying making these episodes. I'm also doing the same with streaming. Like, streaming has been a lot of fun. In fact, I probably find streaming more fun than actually making the episodes, because you get like instant feedback when people talk to you in the streams. Um, but yeah, like, I really do believe that my mindset going in, that value and consistency over trying to rush things, is actually starting to pay off, because now I have that discipline there. Like, it can only get better from here on, because I've got so much more energy to make these episodes that I started out with. Like, before, like, even though I wanted to do it, it was a bit of a chore, but now, like, I don't even feel like it doesn't even feel like I've really done what I'm supposed to do unless I've made an episode for the week. And I'm starting to make episodes, like, it's a Sunday today. Sometimes I make them even earlier. So I'm not just waiting till the Monday or even worse, the Tuesday to make the episode. Um, just a quick recap in case you don't know what's happening with the No Show. It's gonna drop 2021, hopefully Q1, hopefully week 1, and the format of the show will be a hyper condensed, high production value, fast paced 15-minute weekly show that will have a variety of short segments between 1 to 3 minutes, such as cooking, comedy skits, quick rants, news, and much more. Now, the show should almost feel like a highlight reel, or a trailer for more content. Essentially, this allows me to film and edit seasons worth of a particular like segment in a fairly short time. As like batching production is like really efficient. It's like really makes producing a lot faster, and it's a lot more convenient too. So I don't have to worry about making like a whole episode each week. I can just kind of do 80% of the show pre-hand, then have to worry about filling the gaps each week. And it's a lot of pressure off your shoulders, like having to continually produce week after week. it's a lot more pressure doing that than just grinding at it for a time and then taking it easy for another time and then alternating. Um, and with that, like the problem with that is that if it's all pre-recorded, it will feel stale. But because one or two segments are actually going to be recorded and produced on the week, it will bring the freshness to the show and it will make it feel topical. It actually make it feel like the whole show was produced in that week, when in reality most of it wasn't. So that's a clever little trick, and also because how condensed it is, I have like so much spillage content, which I'll be able to like cut up and edit in my free time and like spit out as like extra episodes after the the Not No Show, or the No Show rather. The Not No Show hopefully is never coming back, but the No Show season 2 is like wrapped up. So I only plan to do 13 episodes, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a season 3 in the same year. I might wait till the next year. It might be like a yearly thing. We'll see. We'll see. Like if it's a decent success and I make it bi-yearly for it, because I probably still need to have those 13 weeks on, 13 weeks off. I need that downtime to be able to recover. Um, so I'm actually going to be trying out a new format that's getting closer to the No Show, and the show will have slightly higher production value than what you've been used to. You're going to get intro and outro once more. Also, I will consistently stick to 15-minute episodes, hopefully on the dot. Will consist of 3 segments: a quick update on my life, a quick update on the world, and the main segment, which will probably be quite educational in nature. There will be light editing, and I plan to batch produce the main segments in spirit of how I'll do this for the No Show. So, getting in that practice pre-hand, so when it comes push to shove and have to produce the next season of the No Show, I'm not like, oh, I've never done any of this before. Like, that's kind of rough. So that doesn't actually leave me with an awful amount of time. It's only going to be 2 weeks once you're watching this, to like actually make this new mini season of an undisclosed name, because I haven't given it a name. But like the mini season probably be, I don't know, 4 episodes long. So it'll be a bit of a rush job, but considering that each episode is only 15 minutes, I should probably squeeze enough time to do it. Also, there should be a slight boost to how the Instagram posts are made. You're probably gonna get like a thumbnail, like a proper thumbnail picture, and then like the video, which would be like the best like 1 minute of the episode, not just the first 1 minute, like the most appropriate 1 minute. So it'll at least be more entertaining for people who only watch the Instagram content. But at the end of the day, the content's still going to be quite bad. It's only going to be a small bit of progress, but at least you'll see a little bit of progress, towards something resembling real content. And like also like I'm really enjoying streaming, as I said, and particularly I've been enjoying streaming Minecraft. I've only done it once, but like goddamn, I enjoy doing it. And I've been playing a new game mode called Hardcore. Essentially, if you die, your whole world gets deleted, your whole game saves, so you have to start again. So that has actually upped the stakes quite a bit more. I play the game in a completely different way, which kind of makes it a little bit more high stakes, a bit more stressful, but in a good way, because I think it will make it more enjoyable for the people watching too, since I'm more determined to do something instead of just chilling back and laying back. But it's still an easy game to engage with the chat while I'm playing with. And yeah, I never thought I'd have so much fun playing Minecraft again after all these years. And really, I've been doing some background organization of my strategies, producing and managing my content, and also my startup. My startup has been soaking in a lot of my time. There's a lot to work out, but I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. There will definitely be a special video coming out in the upcoming months describing the journey to the path forwards. So look out for that one. I can't really say much on it for now. There's a lot of things that are still uncertain and out of my hands. And like I could hypothesize about what will happen and explain every single different possible outcome, but then at most only one of those outcomes can actually happen. So I don't really want to waste your time explaining a bunch of things that could happen but probably won't. The good news is that that uncertainty should be settled in the next months coming up should be relatively soon, and then my path towards what I really want should be a lot more linear once those things have settled. Because my path can change quite like dramatically from my point of view like now, but like once that first like chunk of what's going on in my life is settled, then it should be pretty linear from there on. Like there's only really one appropriate path to take. And yeah, like that's pretty much it for an update. It's been a pretty short episode actually. Yeah, like this has probably been one of the shortest episodes. I've managed to get through everything I wanted to say in I think just over 10 minutes. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I hope you're all been keeping safe in these times. And since I said I want to get these episodes to be around 15 on the dot, I might as well just waste a bit of time now. Not waste, but fill it in with rambling. And yeah, I've been saying like the world has been a bit crazy right now, and like even though like I've been living in London and people have been hearing about lots of the crazy stuff that's going on in London, I've actually been pretty sheltered from that. So even though I live relatively close to where all this stuff is happening, I say relatively for London's like for like it's relatively close if you're a Londoner, not if you're used to living in a small city, still a few miles away, but London's just that big. Um, but yeah, I've been relatively, say that word so many times, sheltered and isolated from that. I haven't really seen anything myself. Um, but really, that's just one thing that's like been bugging me. It probably will be an unpopular opinion. And it's kind of interesting because every time I've told someone in the past that, oh yeah, I actually plan on moving to US, and I still do plan on moving to US because like if I'm gonna be honest, that's where all the job prospects are. Like not just job prospects, but like business prospects. Because I'm getting to the point where unless I get incredibly lucky or I really grind, like the UK's prospects in the IT sector are just not that many, and it's just not worth my time like struggling in the UK when I go to US and the ceiling has just been raised like triple, quadruple fold in what I can do. There's just a lot more opportunity there. There's no denying that. Like the UK, when it comes to IT or just trading, they can't even compete with US, not even close. Um, but one interesting thing is that people will say, "Oh, you're black. Why would you want to go to the US? It's dangerous. Haven't shit up the cops doing all that shit." And like, to be honest, like, I can understand where they're coming from, but the reality of things is that the people who are telling me this shit are typically people who are born and raised in London. Like, I was born and raised in Norwich, so like if people from Norwich were telling me that, then maybe they would have a point because Norwich is a really safe place. The only crime that actually happens is that people doing drugs, which I could argue most of those incidents shouldn't even be crimes in the first place. Like you should be able to do what you want to your own body. And but yeah, we have a really low crime rate, and but London doesn't. And my argument is that the majority of USA is much safer than London is. Like just this week, I was going to the store. It was around 9:30, 9:45 to Morrison's. So, lucky it's still bright outside. I think at that time it's getting a bit darker though. I can't really remember. But there's this guy who had just been in, he probably just been in prison. He still had that ankle tag, so I think he's under house arrest and he can't go to certain places or something. And then like he just came up to say, "Hey man, can you buy me some food?" And like I really couldn't be bothered to deal with it that day. I was like, "Hey man, can you buy me some food?" I was like, Nah, man, sorry, I pass. I got £3. Can you just like get me some food for like £10? The first thing I thought was like, well, you have £3. Like, why don't you just go buy yourself the food then? I'm sorry, I was like, no, but I only got £3. I need like £10 for food. And at that point, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm going there to buy shit. I'm not even gonna buy £10 worth of food. Like, why the fuck am I buying you £10 worth of food? Like, who are you? And it was like, yo, but I've been like in prison and stuff. It's like, you're not really selling yourself, man. You're not really selling yourself at all. It's like, well, please buy food. And he just kept on walking and following me. And it's just like, dude, like it's happened before. It's not the first time when someone on the street, whether they're homeless or not homeless, just stop you and then follow you. And then like, you have to watch out because these are the fucking people who are gonna stab you, man. These are people gonna mug you. They're gonna mug you, take all the shit in your bag, take your phone, take your wallet. And the people saying, oh, you're living things like, well, in a matter of like a few months, I've almost been mugged. I don't know how many times. Like it's not that many times, but it's more times than I've almost been mugged in my life outside London. And it's probably gonna be the same for lots of other big cities too. And I think men are more likely to be suspect of other men trying to mug them than women are. And the stats prove it that men are much more likely to be mugged or violently attacked than women. Like even shitty people who attack you are still somewhat chivalrous. Chivalrous? They got chivalry in their head somehow. But nah, I mean, like I've been to US. I've seen some of the worst areas, but like the areas where my family lived, like where like my mom's like friends lived, it was actually clean. Like it's not as if they lived far away from where the shit was happening. They still lived kind of close-ish to the big cities, but they lived just a little bit out, and it was safe, and it was really nice. Like it felt really friendly, and people were like, "Oh, dangerous." It's like, dude, like that felt way safer being in US in those areas than it feels being in London in like the city. I'm not gonna lie, like that's just the truth of it. And of course, there are places like Norwich and other small cities that are really safe too. But it's just when people from the big city are gonna talk smack to me, talk shit to me, look at me like I'm an idiot because I want to move to the West, when I'll probably settle down somewhere that's really safe and some middle state probably, maybe some middle state where I could take like a 2 3 hour train journey or flight to like I don't know New York City or LA depending on where I live. I could still probably live in California, but just not in LA, and it would be super safe. Like the thing is, when people try to make it out that like the whole U.S. is super dangerous and shit, it's like no. Like there are freak accidents, and the thing is that cop shootings, just gun crime, massacres. Like yeah, there are. I don't want to call them freak accidents. They're freak incidents that do happen in the U.S. But statistically speaking, you're more likely to die from lightning and from all other kind of things than you are from that. So even though that is not a nice way to go, like definitely not getting killed by the people you're supposed to protect you. But then at the same time, it's really you gotta look at it like statistically. Like really, it's unlikely it's gonna affect you. And the most of the people who are gonna get affected by these things are black people, but not me. Like not me. Like black immigrants are better off than black people, and they're better off than white people. Like maybe not as well off as like Asian immigrants, but when you look at like us two groups, like we were just way better off than you guys. But because of like what do you call it, the selection bias, that those that work hard enough and are smart enough to move over are basically going to be on a different level. And you know, if you're an immigrant and you've got that mindset, you're probably gonna hang out with other people with a similar mindset and like decent people. And the best way to be safe is to hang around with decent people. If you hang around with dodgy people, that's when you get fucked, right? And you know, or if you hang around in a dodgy area. So I don't hang around with dodgy people in London, but if you're in a dodgy area, then even the people you don't know will screw you up. But that's enough for my rant. Want to keep this video short, 20 minutes. I'll let that roll. Till next time, till the final episode of the Not Now Show. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Bye.